We're eastbound on Millhaven Road in pursuit of a dragon! It's a dragon!
Dragons!
Dragons.
Dragon.
My dragons are...
Dale. You have to call me Dragon.
I checked it. He believes
in dragons?
He believes in dragons.
Did you triple source that?
Yes, I did. And he also thinks that dragons, like I guess like dinosaur-y type of animals, roamed the earth when people did.
From as early as I can remember, I've been fascinated with dragons. And over the years, I've consumed pretty much every single piece of dragon content that's out there. From Game of Thrones to Merlin, Dragonheart. Even back when my sister used to be watching Sleeping Beauty, I would only watch the part where the knight fights the dragon. And I've always thought to myself, of course dragons were probably real. And from the moment humans began telling stories, this one creature has appeared almost everywhere. In China, it was the mighty Lung. In Mesopotamia, it was the chaos serpent, Tiamat. Scandinavia had the Jörmungandr. Mexico had the Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent god. The Bible even describes the Leviathan, a dragon-like monster. And of course, probably the most famous, the medieval dragons. Every culture across thousands of years described the same animal. But what if dragons weren't just a myth out of stories? What if they were actually real? Today, we're going to look at all of the best evidence that we have that dragons actually existed. But first, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit that notification bell to get notified whenever we post new videos on Sundays. Without further ado, let's get right into it. All myths across the world are totally different across regions, but dragons almost always described in the same way. Massive, scaled, lizard-like beings who are able to fly and sometimes breathe fire.
So you like these kind of far out there ideas. How do you like this idea? There's a group of people that say that dragons were real, and I'll explain.
Ooh.
So around the same time period, so to speak, and I'm not one of these people, so I'm probably going to get the details wrong
like
a little
Matthew
bit.
McConaughey movie right
Yeah,
now.
seriously. But so around the same time period in, China, South America, Africa, all these different, Rome, all these places, images depicted people fighting dragons, right? And every dragon was slightly different, but it was all a giant scaly animal that could fly. So when you break that down, you think about the fact that large birds had a hard time being fossilized because their bones are so porous, right? So because they have like hollowish bones, they break down very easily and they don't fossilize. So the group that says this, basically they're saying the evidence is the reason there's no fossils of dragons is because they had bird bones and they were actually very delicate animals. But a handful of these small population of these giant flying lizards existed and basically encompassed all these different countries where they all depicted fighting dragons in their own way, and they were all killed off by, knights or whatever it is, and then didn't fossilize.
So why would the exact same monster appear across all these different civilizations across history, across civilizations that never actually came in contact with each other, unless they were describing something that they actually saw with their own eyes? Now let's look at some of the evidence. And in most of these cases, it starts with the bones. In ancient China, farmers would unearth these massive skeletons in the side of mountains, and they sold them as dragon bones. They were used in medicine for 2,000 plus years. Fast forward to modern paleontology. Discoveries like the Dragon of Death, a pterosaur with a 9-meter wingspan. But the twist? Some researchers argue that these aren't just prehistoric relics, but survivors that actually coexisted with humans. Creationist scholars point out dinosaur-like fossils align perfectly with descriptions of dragons, suggesting humans and these creatures lived side by side. Aboriginal art depicts a plesiosaur resembling water monsters, and Native American petroglyphs show dragon-like figures etched into stone. If dinosaurs died out 65 million years ago, why do so many cultures have fresh memories of battling them? We also actually have eyewitness accounts of dragons. The Greek historian Herodotus described winged serpents in Arabia. Pliny the Elder wrote of 30-foot snakes in Africa. Marco Polo described dragons in China with jaws big enough to swallow a man. And in medieval England, entire chronicle recorded battles with dragons as if they were real events. Now, let's consider some of the living links. The Komodo dragon, discovered in 1910. The Komodo is a venomous lizard up to 3 meters long, proof that dragons still exist today, but just in diminished forms. Flying lizards in Asia glide on wing-like membranes, mimicking dragonfly. And the bombarder beetle actually ejects boiling chemicals like fire as a defense mechanism. But if dragons were real, why would they cover it up, and why would they say that they're just dinosaurs? Mainstream science dismisses dragons as myths inspired by fossils, yet fringe historians compile accounts of humans hunting mammoths and dinosaurs, suggesting a rewritten timeline. Carl Sagan even noted that the pervasiveness of dragon myth throughout all cultures isn't accidental. On social media, the discussion rages, of course. People say dragons must be real because they're the only mythical creature to appear on the Chinese zodiac. The evidence from scriptural beasts to fossilized dragon bones and cultural ubiquity paints a picture of a world where these creatures were actually real and they lived alongside of human beings. And this is what actually inspired all of the art and media we see about dragons today. Perhaps they went extinct due to climate shifts or hunting, because in most of the descriptions that we have of dragons, humans are fighting them off. So when we look at dragons, not as fantasy, but as lost animals, the pieces actually start to fit together perfectly. The bones dug up as medicine, the giant reptiles we know existed. In my opinion, dragons were real. To what extent, I don't know. So the next time you see a dragon in a movie, a TV show, or a video game, remember this: you're not just looking at pure imagination. You're looking at one of humanity's oldest memories, one of the most terrifying predators that we've ever faced. If you like this video, drop a like. If you didn't like the video and you listened this far, thank you for listening. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks again, guys, for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace!